Thank you for watching Two Stupid Gamers. It's Jake Fell, and Cavarol.
So this is going to be our last recording. Jake's going to Russia for some reason.
I'm coming back in March, so
He says that, but we all know Putin's going to kill him. And Dad's still grounded. So, yay.
So, Fell went and saw The Hobbit without me,
It was as a company thing. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan, you know? But I just found the movie so disappointing.
Why?
I probably missed the first part because I was getting my popcorn, you know? My buddy was getting his snacks, and it took him like 500 years to do it. So I get in there, and Smog's talking blah, 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 blah. And like the other human dude is like getting the arrow ready on the other kid's bag. And Smog just sitting there talking. I'm like, is that dragon going to do anything? And I'm like, oh, he's probably going to survive the arrow. That's why he's not doing anything. So Smog charges. The arrow gets fired, hits Smog. He like turns off to the side. They're on a tower, so that gets knocked down.
Definitely no spoilers here. Yeah.
It's all spoilers. It's a review. I'm telling you why this thing sucks. The book's been out for like 500 years. Smog died from that hit, and I'm like, if that stupid son of a bitch dragon would just shut up and kill the stupid human already, he'd still be alive.
Okay, you gotta understand, the dragon in the book is supposed to be superbly arrogant. He has lived for a long time.
And one arrow takes him down?
One arrow because Bilbo noticed part in his armor, like the dragon's scales, the one scale that was missing. He told Sparrow, and the Sparrow went and told the guy at the top of the tower. I forget his name. And
I don't even know his name. I saw the movie.
Is supposed to be a superb archer, and he shoots through that one spot, except for I think that they changed it in the movie because they gave him like weird arrows that are supposed to be able to take down a dragon, but I don't know.
Okay, so I knew, but but that just told me it's like, okay, this movie's gonna suck.
Okay.
So the entire movie is about this orc army invading, right?
It's supposed to be about 5 armies fighting each other.
First of all, there were 4 armies for like pretty much the entire movie. It was what? The orc army, the humans, which weren't even an army, they were just a bunch of villagers.
Yeah.
And they're like little pitchforks and
torches.
And so like that's not even an army, come on. So it's really more like 3 armies.
Okay, there's the elves, the dwarves, the humans, the orcs. And what shows up at the end?
The eagles and whatever turns into a bear. There was only like a
druid.
dozen of them anyway. It's not really an army. I'm pretty sure there's more expendables than there are them.
You see, the whole thing was...
That's not 5 armies.
Right. The whole thing was, during the books, it was supposed to be like the humans, the dwarves, the elves, and I forget, there's supposed to be like one more... I don't know. But there's supposed to be like these 3 or 4 armies sitting there arguing about who's going to take back this gigantic treasure trove, and they're going to fight for it. But then the orcs show up and they all band together.
So the orcs get the drop on them, right? And keep in mind, I don't know what these orcs are. I just remember, like, one of the characters said, these orcs have been bred for battle, you know? So I'm like, oh, these orcs can fuck those shit. Like, they get the drop on this army. This army was not expecting the orcs to come. The orcs show up, and they get slaughtered by all the main characters. Like, you see the main characters just take out, like, a dozen of these things. Even Bilbo kills, like, half a dozen of them by throwing rocks at their head. And I'm just thinking... some bred for battle army. It's like
murdered by halflings.
The only people I saw die from the orcs are the main characters that were meant to die. And they also went into like the little city where all the humans are and slaughtered innocent people who were never fighting in the first place.
That's what orcs are good at.
These orcs are incredibly disappointing.
Yeah, I think the Lord of the Rings orcs seem to be better at what they do.
Are they? Okay. I'm just saying, like, oh my god. And then, like, the orcs fall back, I mean, not the orcs, the dwarves fall back to the little hideout where Thorin and, like, his half a dozen men are. Like, we need Thorin's reinforcements. And I'm like, why? There's only, like, 7 of them. What are they going to do against this army of orcs? Friday they come out and the dwarves just start slaughtering. Like, really? Oh my god. So Thorin goes up into the tower where the leader is. They're going to take out the leader and hopefully take out the army. I don't know how that works, but whatever. And then they realize it's a trap, that there's a second orc
They're
army
Valorans.
coming.
They're Valorans. Without their leader, they won't fight anymore.
They won't fight anymore. I guess that explains why at the end...
Name that movie. They're not really Valorans. Come on, Fifth Element. Anyways, go.
Anyway.
Should we be playing that?
Oh,
no.
yeah.
I'm going to complain about this movie more, because everyone's like, it's so good. Such a terrible, shitty movie. And after the leader dies, like, a new army comes from the north, and those little druid whatever things coming, like there's 6 of them, I don't know. Keep saying half a dozen. There's probably, like, a little bit more or whatever.
6 druids show up?
There weren't that many. They came on like eagles, and like they jumped off them and turned into bears, and they just slaughtered this reinforcement army. I'm like, what
In the
the hell
book,
is
there
going
was
on?
one.
One? There was more than that.
I swear, in the book there was just the one guy. The one druid and a bunch of eagles.
Maybe it was a... I only saw one bear. I just assumed that there were more. And so they just completely knocked out this, like, second half of the army, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Why are we so afraid of these orcs? Even when they have superior numbers and they get the drop on their enemy, they still lose.
Terribly badly, too.
Exactly.
In the books, there was a lot more death.
There was a lot more, okay.
It was a whole lot.
I'm just saying that, like, they built these orcs up to be huge badasses, and they weren't. They were... It was like the French army. I swear, I half expected them to just run away. Oh, shit, we're not as tough as we thought we were. And I thought those worms that dig tunnels were going to do something. They probably could have done more damage than those orcs.
What worms?
Like, there's worms that dug a tunnel for the orc army to come in. Was that not in the book?
It definitely wasn't in the book.
It was just like a giant worm. Like, it reminded me of a Magic the Gathering character. Although they probably took it from Lord of the Rings anyway.
They really were screwing with everything.
I'm just saying.
The books are way better.
It was an extremely disappointing movie. And I'm sure, I'm missing, I'm going to complain about something else. I can't remember. There's a lot more to complain about, I'm sure.
Alright, so next episode we'll hear...
So that was my review of the latest Hobbit movie. It's like, there's a lot of action if you want to see an action movie. I'm just saying, like, I'm sure, like, if Jake goes to see it, he won't notice any of this stuff because he's a big fan. But me being not fan and not having seen any of the Hobbit movies...
I've really been kind of disappointed in the way they've been changing things. They forced the elves more into this than they were. And Legolas was never there in the first place.
He wasn't?
No.
I don't know these things. I'm just saying, like...
Really, they're just trying to get a bunch more fanfare out of Lord of the Rings. They're abusing The Hobbit. These books were really supposed to be very cultured, and a lot of it wasn't fighting. A lot of it was just, like, adventure and, like, the feeling that goes along with traveling long distances and experiencing a lot of new things. And this whole army thing was a whole lot more scary because they were orcs and they really did murder the shit out of a lot of people. And everybody had to combine forces to beat these orcs, whereas it sounds like it was just a beat down.
They really weren't that great.
Yeah.
Especially after hyping them up. I mean...
I really loved the Hobbit book, and if they screwed this up, I've been watching the movies as they've been coming along, and it's been terrible.
I think one of the things that also... Like, it's a prequel, so we kind of know who's going to live and who's going to die. You know? Like, Bilbo's going to live. Gandalf is going to live. Legolas, who apparently wasn't there, is going to live.
I don't know why they tried to get him back into it. They're like, he's so pretty, we have to have him again.
Am I supposed to be in this?
No, you're not here. You don't play.
Anyway, that's my review. Am I missing anything?
No.
Probably
Thanks
not.
for watching Two Stupid Gamers. This is our review of...
This is my review. I'm the only one who's seen it.
Okay, his review.